Good afternoon and welcome into another edition of IMG Academy Post-Grad Football as they welcome in the Myrtle Beach Prep Marauders to IMG Academy Stadium. Hello everyone, my name is Ryan Sudol. My broadcast partner today, John Vitas, in for Josh Phillips. And to start, we have Taylor Evans on the kickoff return. The Ascenders wearing their all-black jerseys, white numerals, blue trim, and Myrtle Beach Prep with the old-school 1980s LA Chargers look. With the all-white jerseys, blue pants, and blue numerals. Just excited for another edition of IMG Academy Football. Just a few more broadcasts in the season left. Next week, the number one rated team in the country, the IMG Academy national team, will be taking on True Prep. That game will be here at IMG Academy, but it will be on ESPNU, so you'll have to tune in that way. And then still waiting to find out who the varsity opponent will be, as they will attempt to play for their first time in the FHSAA state playoffs. This will be Arnaud as your starting quarterback for the Post-Grad Ascenders. And the quick screen to Taylor Evans. He'll get the kickoff return and then the first offensive play of the game as well.
Well, good to be with you today, Ryan. First time getting a look at this Post-Grad team. Good catch there by Evans. Blocking wasn't quite there for him on that first play, but picked up a couple.
And Arnaud, the hand to Dorian Paris. He puts it on the ground, and the fumble is recovered.
Well, we don't see many turnovers early on and slow starts for IMG, but that was one right there, so they'll have to dig themselves out of a bit of a hole here, plus territory for the first possession for the Marauders.
And not something we see the Ascenders do often. They turn the ball over in the field of play. So the defense led that secondary by Pete Zaccolo, one of the captains today. And your starting quarterback for the Marauders, number 11, Corey Spites. Had a chance to talk to some members of the Myrtle Beach Prep coaching staff before kickoff. A 9-hour bus ride down here from Myrtle Beach.
Well, I've done some 9-hour bus rides out of Myrtle Beach. I was with the Pelicans in the minor leagues, but that's a long drive to get through a good portion of the state of Florida. But they're ready to go. It's a beautiful day. It's pretty warm out there and breezy as well.
And the wind will definitely be a factor. And the low snap, Spites is going to keep it himself. Runs out to the left. What should have been a broken play and a stop is going to turn into a nice gain for the Marauders.
Well, the Ascenders better get ready for some of those perimeter runs because they have the starting quarterback, Spates, listed as an athlete on the roster. So he's not your typical quarterback, and I'm sure they'll try and get the edge early and often and run some misdirections, but showing good speed to the outside there and a first down.
1st and 10 from the Ascender 23-yard line. Knocking on the door of the red zone. Starting running back, Rashad Feaster. Now Spites waits the shotgun snap. And this time he puts it on the ground, and it looks like the Ascenders recover it. Busting through, I believe that was J.T. Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis got some nice penetration and jumped on the football right away. So both teams cough it up on pretty simple handoffs.
And that time it looked like Spites was maybe looking upfield before he had a chance to hand it off. So 2 little miscues, and we basically get to start over. 1st and 10 from the Ascender 31. Anthony Arnaud out of Santa Monica, California, takes the snap. Xavier Terrell in the backfield. He'll catch that one on a little out route, and they put Anthony Arnaud on his back, but Xavier Terrell able to get upfield.
Yeah, he's going to be a factor in this game, no doubt. A very talented running back with a lot of speed. So a nice simple play call there on 1st and 10. Same thing on their previous drive, running that little bubble screen to the left. It was after that where they ran into some trouble coughing the football up.
So 2nd and 8 from their own 33-yard line.
It was Leon Jackson coming up a little lame from Myrtle Beach.
Three receivers to the left for Arnaud. And one target out to his right. Shotgun snap. The hand is to Xavier Terrell. He tries to bust off to his left. Still on his feet. Forward progress stopped. A little bit behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll bring up 3rd and long for the Ascenders.
I was Jerome Parker getting a hold of Terrell's ankles and then letting his teammates do the rest. Terrell's very elusive, so if you can get a hold of him, you better hang on for dear life and hope that everybody else can help bottle him up.
They'll actually give him a positive yard. I'll say his forward progress was stopped just a little bit in front of the line of scrimmage. Now 2 receivers to each side for Arnaud. And the hard count is going to give the Ascenders 5 free yards. And the first penalty of the day for Myrtle Beach.
3rd and 7 becomes 3rd and 2, and now a lot more options in the playbook for 3rd and 2.
Stopping the Ascenders from getting 2 yards is not an easy task, either for the Post-Grad team, the national team, or the varsity team. And in motion, they hand to Xavier Terrell right up the middle. He's going to get the first down, and they'll stop him right at the 42. The line to gain was the 41, and a fresh set of downs for IMG Academy.
Well, it was Paris who fumbled the football on the first drive, and we've seen Terrell only here on the second drive. We don't see him between the tackles too often, but with just 2 running backs in the fold today, we might see Terrell run between the tackles a little more than we're used to seeing.
Again, 2 receivers each side. The snap and the hand to Xavier Terrell. Cuts left and tries to gut the Marauders straight up the middle. Number 5 will get 5 yards and bring up 2nd down.
A good push by the middle portion of the Ascenders offensive line. Harris, Henrich, Ba getting some nice push for Terrell.
So 2nd and 5. Ascenders eating up some clock while moving the chains. And right on the doorstep of Marauder territory from their own 48-yard line. Arnaud takes the snap, and the throw is complete to Weston Adams, who will be close to the first down, but inside Marauder territory. We'll see where the official spot is.
Yeah, they are right at the first down marker, so it'll be very close, and I think they may measure here. Nope, they're going to give him the first down, but a great job by Arnaud there dropping back. Realized it was a pretty soft zone coverage, so he dropped it down into the slot where there was some space.
So 1st and 10 now from the Marauder 47. Now 2 tailbacks for IMG. And Xavier Terrell is going to take Dorian Paris's lead. And again, 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well, they'll take that. Those are the types of plays that keep you in rhythm. Simple handoff, gain a few yards, and lift a fight on a manageable down and distance. So they're in a groove right now after that early fumble.
Dorian Paris and Xavier Terrell, and then Weston Adams, the receiver on the near side. Terrell in motion. And looks like Arnaud might have lost control on the snap and just had to make a quick adjustment. He'll keep it himself.
I'm not sure if that was a designed run or if it was just a broken play, but Arnaud bobbled the snap, and that kind of threw off the timing of the blocks, allowing some defenders to get in there and disrupt things.
Now 3rd and 7 for IMG Academy. Arnaud takes the snap, pressure coming, and he stays on his feet, and then finally brought down back in Ascender territory, and probably a punting situation for IMG.
Yeah, Kenyatta Draft coming off the end was able to wrestle the quarterback to the ground. Myrtle Beach has been showing a lot of blitz and then backing off of it. So I think that was what caused the confusion on the Ascenders offensive line there. They showed that they were going to rush 6 or 7, ended up rushing 4, but it was enough to get there.
And wind picking up. And the snap. And they won't rush at all. They will try to field this. It will bounce at the 20, right at the feet of Juanzabal Alonso, and take a advantageous bounce for the Marauders and a fresh set of downs for the team from Myrtle Beach.
We don't see a lot of IMG punts, do we?
No, it's definitely one of the lesser used positions at the football program here. First and 10, ball on their own 31, Myrtle Beach Prep Marauders.
We also don't see two straight empty possessions very often from the Ascenders, so give the Marauders some credit. They've come out ready to play.
Now Spites takes the low snap and fires quickly from the backfield, and a first down for Myrtle Beach Prep. And Monty Lewis, one of the big playmakers for the Marauders.
Yeah, they aren't scared at all, Myrtle Beach Prep. I mean, they've come out ready to go. We don't see that often. A lot of times teams are on their heels knowing the caliber of the opponent they're staring down. Not the case for these Marauders. They are fearless at the moment.
Jalen Cheney and Austin Polson to the near side. And this one just skips to the hands of Austin Polson. Was told that he was actually a military veteran for Myrtle Beach Prep. And the incomplete pass.
We don't see many of those, but that was a pretty costly missed fire. If the receiver there could have made just one defender miss, he had all kinds of opportunities to get down the sideline and pick up some major yardage, but the pass was too low.
Looks like we have a hydration break. It's 6:18 remaining in the first quarter. Take some time to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith. Gatorade keeping our senders well hydrated, Under Armour keeping them well dressed, and Zenith keeping them well protected. You can also get your own IMG Academy gear. Go to www.shopimg.com, your official IMG Academy online retailer. And we will break the water huddle. There's Liam McCormick on the defensive line, along with Charlie Goodell and Peter Shanny. I believe that's Kristen Johnson up there as well. Now Spites takes the snap. It's low. They try to run straight up the middle. And now out to the outside and into Ascender territory, and then finally brought down.
Wow, Spites turning what looked to be a failed play into a 20-yard gain. IMG is going to have to keep a hat on him at all times. He is a dangerous runner.
So into Ascender territory. It'll be first and 10 from the IMG 39. And the low snap. And they try to hand it off in Rashad Feaster. And some flags coming in late.
They've been able to get the edge and use the sidelines to their advantage. Plenty of speed for this Marauders team, getting them some yardage. Let's see the penalty.
And it's going to be a hold against Myrtle Beach Prep. So after a sizable gain, an even bigger loss. And we'll stay at first down.
Looks like they actually gained yardage there, so the penalty was well down the field.
Maybe lost half a yard. It'll be, no, first and 9. And another low snap, and now Spites with a little option pitch to Feaster, who tries to get to that outside and runs into the Ascender sideline after getting a few.
Well, we don't see many teams that can match the speed of the Ascenders, but it looks like the Marauders have a few different guys who can get to the outside and gain yardage.
So 2nd and 5 from the Ascender 34. And the wind blowing from east to west here in Bradenton. That's directly towards the camera from where you guys are watching. Now Feaster up the middle and trying to get him down. He'll fall forward for a couple more yards and gain about a little more than 10, good enough for another Marauder first down.
Yeah, plenty of space off left tackle there for Feaster. Able to spin, bounce off a hit as well. They are marching down the field.
So 1st and 10 from the Ascender 20. 5:30 remaining in the quarter. Now Spites takes the snap, the hand to Feaster straight up the middle, and daylight, touchdown. From 20 yards out, Rayshad Feaster gets the first points in the game, and they go for Myrtle Beach Prep.
Yeah, Feaster just gashing the IMG defense on consecutive plays, able to get to the second level with a pretty quick feet to get through the linebacker level and then really wreak some havoc for double-digit yardage on back-to-back plays. An impressive drive from Myrtle Beach Prep.
Now for the point after, we'll see how they run this, and it's a different look than we are used to. And they'll take the snap and the one-on-one. And Monty Sloan, a very unique look that we have not seen before, but they'll get the 2 points.
I have never seen that. They put Monty Lewis on an island with one defender. And you're right, it's like running some sort of a drill that you would see in practice or maybe even on a basketball court where it's just you and the defender and you got to get by. And the problem is it's not two-hand touch, it's tackle. And he was able to just kind of scoot on by and pick up those couple of yards he needed for the 2-point conversion. So not only did Myrtle Beach Prep come out here ready to run, they're ready to outsmart their opponent too. That was an interesting play call that I've never seen before.
Often you'll see that line up near the sideline and then adjust and come to the middle of the field sometimes at the college level and then run a kick or another play. But that time they just go with that direct snap to Monty Lewis.
And I think that's what everybody was waiting for, was for that grouping of players on the far side of the field to come back towards the middle and kick the extra point. And a lot of times teams do that just to keep the defense honest and see how they match up. But in that case, that was a designed play to keep everybody bunched over to the far side of the field and then just let their playmaker make a play.
Now awaiting the kickoff, 8-0 the score for the Marauders over the Ascenders. That is Julian Taylor and I believe Taylor Evans. And this one takes a bounce, and Taylor keeps it himself, gets it off the bounce, and he's got some room. He's up to the 35, and then he is tackled at the 40, but that was a very dangerous kick. Myrtle Beach Prep almost with a chance to recover what was not intended to be an onside kick, but with where they put it, and it took a nice bounce. Julian Taylor able to recover nicely and get some good yards out of that.
Yeah, the wind really pushed against that ball, kept it in the air for an extra second. And like you said, the kicking team was bearing down on Taylor, but 2 kickoff returns in a row that Taylor was able to get some nice momentum moving forward and give his team good field position.
So 1st and 10, a somewhat short field for the Ascenders, their own 40-yard line. And that is Dayon Hooper at quarterback. Can get it done with his arm and his legs. And we'll see if it gives the Ascender offense a different look. Now the snap, the hand is to Stacy Gage, whose run is straight up the middle, trying to get off that right tackle. And he'll get a short gain on the play.
Yeah, you can hear the excitement on the far side of the field from the players in those yellow jerseys. They are fired up, and they, like you said, they drove a long way to get down here, so they want to make the trip worth their while.
Dorian Paris and Stacy Gage accompany Day Hooper in the backfield. Now the snap is high. Looked like it was supposed to be to Gage, but Hooper's going to keep it himself. A flag comes in the neighborhood of holding, and we'll see what the penalty is, but Day Hooper gets some positive yards for the Ascenders pending the penalty. And that will move the Ascenders back. It'll stay second down, but it looks like it'll be 2nd and 19 now from their own 31, going in the wrong direction. Three receivers left. As Hooper awaits the snap. And they'll go to the air. He throws this one across the middle. It's Davis Hawkins. It's caught. Good for a short gain.
So a good positive play there, but it's interesting to watch this Marauders front show blitz on almost every play. I mean, they're stacking the line with 6 or 7 players and then backing off into different coverages. So I think it's really throwing off the IMG offensive line. I think they're slowly but surely getting comfortable with it. But it's something you also don't see very often is basically a team showing blitz and then showing different coverages off of that on every play.
Now on 3rd and 15, Marauders showing a 0 blitz. Hooper takes it himself. He runs to the right, looks for some space. He stays on his feet and is only good enough to get up to the 43. A nice gain for Day Hooper, but a punting situation again for IMG Academy.
Yeah, how many times on 3rd and 15 do you see a defense rush 7? That's what Myrtle Beach Prep did right there. I mean, that's got to be their MO. That's what they like to do, and they're going to do it in just about any down and distance. And they forced another IMG punt.
So Gavin Gundiker on to punt for the Ascenders, as the Marauders have a few back. And this one will hang up in the wind and bounce right about the 30-yard line and will roll to about the 27. And it'll be a fresh set of downs for the Marauders. 2:48 remaining in the first quarter.
We've seen both punts go about the same distance for Gundiker, about a 25-yard punt. That one was a much different trajectory, hung in the air forever, so no chance for Myrtle Beach to do much with it. But they've got the ball again with a lead. But this is a huge drive for IMG. I mean, they're not used to playing from behind, and they really have not had much of an answer for this Marauders team. So this is the time for the defense to step up and make a stop.
And after those 2 quick turnovers on back-to-back drives for both the Ascenders and the Marauders, it was the Marauders that broke through first with that 20-yard Rashad Feaster touchdown as they look to extend their lead at this drive. Spites with the snap, and the run is right up the middle into a very large Peter Shanny.
Yeah, that was a great first play. They had really strong play across the defensive line there. Everybody held their ground and nowhere for the running back to go.
So 2nd and 8. As the Marauders now making their adjustments at the line. Spites, low snap. He fires this one into the flat. And with space, that is number 17 for the Marauders, Austin Polson, who's got some room down the sideline. And a 71-yard touchdown. And some late flags coming in, probably going to be for excessive celebration.
Well, missed tackles all the way around today for IMG. There were 2 on that play, and we've seen some on other plays as well. Really good cut block by the other receiver there on the left side, and then plenty of speed from Polston to do the rest and outrun those linebackers who were in pursuit. But IMG's just got to wrap up. They got 2 hats on the runner there, and were just not able to finish the tackle. And it is a taunting call against Polson, who was waving a finger at the defenders in pursuit for the last 10 yards of his touchdown. But the touchdown, of course, will count, and I think IMG is going to have it assessed on the kickoff.
And that is what head coach George Hageman is talking with the officials about.
And they've set up this odd formation again. I think IMG will be more ready for it this time, but the officials are over here on the IMG sideline, so they're not going to be running that play anytime soon.
And again, that odd formation that we saw on their first touchdown to attempt to go for two-point conversion. And last time we saw Monty Lewis, just run right into the end zone. Now the Ascenders look like they may be a little more prepped for it.
Yeah, they've got 2 extra bodies in the vicinity, so they're ready for it this time.
And now the snap. And they try to go straight up and through, and it looks like he did break the play, and it's good.
Wow. Well, the Ascenders were prepared for it. They had 4 bodies pursuing the football, and they came to a collision right around the 1-yard line, but the runner was able to fall forward for the 2-point conversion. And now it's almost a 3-possession game with a 16-0 lead.
16-0 in favor of the visitors, Myrtle Beach Prep. And the Ascenders now will have to find an answer. 1:58 remaining in the first quarter. Now just feeling like the Ascenders haven't really found a groove offensively. And we'll see if after this much shorter kickoff, might get a better field position for their next drive.
And you have to be a little confused if you're the offense because you haven't necessarily played poorly. There was a fumble. There was a costly holding penalty. Other than that, they've had positive plays on offense. They've just been unable to move the chains for those 2 reasons.
Well, looks like they'll have to set up on the 30. Julian Taylor on the last kickoff was able to bring it up to the 40. So we'll see if they play it a little shorter. And it looks like they'll have it teed up at the 25 after the penalty on the 71-yard touchdown by Polson.
And that really does hurt your team because now you're giving IMG great field position. You got to know better than to taunt the opponent before you cross the goal line especially. I mean, the officials are never going to miss that. And now you set up IMG with a chance to get the touchdown back, 15 yards closer.
And it is Polson with the kickoff duties. And sends this one back. Taylor will field this at about the 22. Now up to the 35 and brought down at the 40.
Well, you can tell Polson had some adrenaline pumping through his veins. That was a hard kick. Got it almost all the way to the 20, which would be the 5 on a normal kickoff. But there's no doubt that Myrtle Beach Prep is infused with confidence right now on both sides of the football. They have a lot less players than IMG, so you got to wonder whether they wear down in the second half because it is very hot. It's 86 degrees, humid, sunny. I mean, it feels more like May or September than it does November today. So we'll see how that plays a factor moving forward.
So 1st and 10 from their own 40. And Day Hooper back in at quarterback. 2 receivers each side. Now the snap. They'll look downfield. Hooper looks to keep it himself. Falls forward, stays on his feet, and then finally brought down about the 44-yard line.
Another broken pass protection from IMG, but Hooper has got the wheels to make something of it, and he does get a good gain there on a play that could have been a lot worse.
And again with the hard count, we'll draw number 50 for Myrtle Beach Prep. That is Leon Jackson into the neutral zone, and 5 more free yards for the Ascender offense. So 2nd and 1 from the 49. Now Hooper takes the snap. Paris sets up the block. They find Julian Taylor in Marauder territory, good enough for the first down.
Well, this is going to be a good competitive game the rest of the way. IMG's executing. That was a great pass by Hooper. But Myrtle Beach Prep's playing good defense, too. Everybody was on assignment, in position. Quick tackle was made. The first down is achieved, but not much yardage after the catch at all.
First and 10 from the Myrtle Beach Prep 49-yard line. Day Hooper has trips left. Now the snap. Hooper drops, he runs to his right, and he is brought down hard in the backfield. Sacked by Jared Graham.
Well, we've seen some good athletes on the offensive side for Myrtle Beach Prep, but now we're seeing some guys on the defensive end who can really get downhill in a hurry and wreak havoc in the backfield. And that was a huge play to stop the IMG momentum. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter, and what a quarter it was for the Marauders.
With 5 seconds remaining, we'll swap sides and change directions. But IMG finds themselves down 2 touchdowns. It's 16-0. You're watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. Ryan Sudol and John Vitas with you. And the beginning of the second quarter will be a 2nd and 19 as the Ascenders were sacked back in their own territory. Day Hooper has Dorian Paris and Xavier Terrell in the backfield. Now Hooper takes the snap and puts it on the ground, and it is recovered by Myrtle Beach Prep. Looks like it was supposed to go to Xavier Terrell, and on the exchange, another turnover for IMG Academy.
Yeah, the Senders look deflated at this point, and Myrtle Beach the complete opposite. I don't think either team expected the game to go quite this way through one quarter. But the Marauders, all of a sudden, are 35 yards away from a 3-score lead.
And with the way they've been executing on their 2-point conversions, possibly 3 touchdowns and a field goal. So 1st and 10 from the 35 of IMG Academy. Corey Spites with 2 receivers to each side. Takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Tries to run in that stout defensive line of IMG Academy and is brought down after a short gain.
Yeah, and the defensive line has been the most reliable part of the Ascenders' defense so far. They've held their own on most running plays. It's been on the perimeter and in the secondary where things have broken down for the Ascenders. On those long running plays or those screen routes or screen plays, that's where the secondary has been unable to wrap up. It's the simple running plays that the Ascenders have answered the call on.
2nd and 9.
You can see Hooper over here on the sideline working on his handoffs because they've fumbled 2 of them now.
The snap is low. Spites has a man in the flat and plenty of room up to the 20, to the 15, and then finally wrapped up and brought down. And that is Willem Shinicki.
It may be coming back, though. There was a block on the outside down the field that looked more like a tackle. So I think they're going to gain yardage because it was about 15 yards down the field, but they are going to erase that play.
And it is, in fact, a hold. And they will gain about 2 or 3 yards on the play. And it will remain second down. Call it second and a long 5. Now Spikes, low snap, looking deep down the middle and just through the hands of Zamozu Ozadigwe.
Yeah, they had him. IMG, for good reason, is pretty fixated on those athletes at the line of scrimmage out on the edge, and then they sent one receiver down the seam, and they almost hit him.
Third and 5 for the Marauders. And the IMG defense looking to answer the call here on third down. Now the snap. Spikes is going to keep it himself, and he is bottled up behind the line of scrimmage and then finally brought down.
Big play by the IMG defense. They were in full pursuit there and made a great play taking Spates down to the ground. Now it's decision time for Myrtle Beach Prep on what will be 4th and 6, although we do have a flag on the previous play.
And it was JT Ellis finally taking Spikes down.
It's going to be holding on the offense. So would you rather have 4th and 6 or 3rd and 15? That's a tough call if you're IMG.
And it will be 4th down. Coach George Hegeman having faith in his defense to keep them 6 yards out.
Yeah, I think I would do the same thing because you're not in field goal range, so you're not worried about that if you're IMG. It'd be a 48-yard field goal from here.
And we've seen they don't kick.
So you just got to muscle up for one play if you're IMG and get the ball back.
Now there's a discussion going on about the personnel on the field for IMG. And now Spites, 2 receivers each side. Senders look like they're showing blitz. Now Spites on the breakout is just going to throw it in down to the corner of the end zone and almost caught. Incomplete. It'll be a turnover on downs. Great coverage by the Ascenders. Willem Chinicki. And I believe that was also DeMarco Cuffey breaking that up.
Yeah, great job by both of them to not commit a penalty as well because that ball was fluttering in the air for so long. So any hard contact with the receiver would have likely been a flag. So not only did they track the ball and make sure they were in good position, they also didn't collide with the receiver. So really good defense all around there for IMG to kind of flip the momentum a little bit, settle things down, and give their offense a chance to make this a close competitive game.
So Anthony Arnaud with Xavier Terrell on his right hip. And 2 receivers to each side. One man in motion is Julian Taylor. Now the snap. The hand to Terrell trying to just squeeze his way through the middle. He's got space and he is hit on the hip, but a nice gain by Xavier Terrell.
Yeah, great tackle by Josiah Murphy of the Marauders because if he did not make that tackle out in space, that could have been a long run for Terrell, maybe all the way.
Same formation. Taylor back in motion. Arnaud takes the snap, play action. They find Julian Taylor, and it'll just go through his hands. And Taylor Evans was right there, possibly could have got it after it squirted through the hands of Julian Taylor, but it'll go down as an incomplete pass and bring up 3rd and short.
Big play here because you likely do have to punt if you don't get this in your own territory, but not a lot of yardage to get.
Now the snap. The hand to Paris right up the middle. He's got space. And into Marauder territory. Good for the first down and then some. And it'll be brought down at midfield, and the Ascenders keep the drive alive.
Well, they say nothing motivates an athlete more than the bench, and when Paris was placed on the bench after that fumble, he had some time to think about it, and he came out with a vengeance right there, going straight through the gut of the Myrtle Beach Prep defense.
And now we'll see Stacy Gage helping some of the running back duties. Paris in motion. Arnaud, just a little dump off to Stacy Gage, who stays on his feet. He's up to the 45, 40. He's got space, 30, 20, 15, cuts back, 10, 5. Touchdown, Stacy Gage. The Riverview Rocket strikes again. And there is a hold against the Ascenders, but from 50 yards out, Stacy Gage showing why he is such a valuable weapon for the Ascenders.
Yeah, really impressive run, utilizing the sideline to his advantage, but it is coming back.
Nice little just dump-off pass from Anthony Arnaud, but...
Yeah, they ran Paris to the right side flat as a decoy, and then we're setting up the screen on the left side, and Arnaud faked it perfectly, kind of kept his eyes towards that right side, and then quickly dumped it off to the left. But it's a costly penalty.
So from a touchdown for the Ascenders to now 1st and 25 from their own 35-yard line. And the hard count will give the Ascenders at least 5 of those yards back.
This is an offside penalty against Myrtle Beach. Takes the ball up to the 40-yard line.
So 1st and 20. As Ethan Lang will sub in on that offensive line. Arnaud with the snap, play action to Gage, and caught evading one tackle and back across midfield into Marauder territory. I believe that was Taylor Evans. So 1st and 20 brings up 2nd and 5, a nice gain for the Ascenders after the big penalty.
Yeah, nice job. Evans able to shake a couple tacklers and keep his momentum going forward, and all of a sudden a penalty is not much of a factor anymore. They've gotten the yardage back.
Taylor in motion, running that little wheel route. Stacy Gage right up the middle, stays on his feet and brought down after getting the yardage he needed down to the 35-yard line. Good for another Ascender first down.
Yeah, now you're starting to see the talent take over for IMG. The big fellas up front are starting to move some people. You're giving your playmakers some space to do damage, and Stacy Gage is starting to do that damage.
Arnaud has Gage on his right hip, 2 receivers to each side. And this time they do not jump on the hard count from Arnaud. Now the snap. They find Taylor Evans. Cuts upfield at the 35. He'll get a short gain. They'll bring him down at the 30. But still starting to gouge yards from Myrtle Beach.
Evans is pretty shifty, able to use that blocker to his advantage there. And has a nose for falling forward, too, and not taking the hit head on.
The Ascenders would like to get points on this drive. Try and cut that lead in half as much as they can. Taylor back in motion. Now the snap. They'll go back to the air. Arnaud is brought down hard. Can't get rid of it. They'll stop his forward progress at 40.
That's just a tough matchup in terms of play call for IMG. It was a slow developing screen for Terrell, and that blitz came. And, I mean, you're giving up blocks when you're setting up a screen anyway, but when you've got, 6 guys rushing forward, they're going to get there quickly, and they sure did.
3rd and 15. Probably just outside of field goal range. Now the snap. And this one is deflected, and Stacy Gage catches it, but he's brought down. And it'll be a short loss. As Gage was not able to cut upfield, they'll bring on the punting unit. And this is Wheeler Bowron.
Yeah, it's the edge rushers for the Marauders that are doing the damage. Kenyatta Draft and Jared Graham. Those two off the edge have come up with the disruptive plays for the Marauders. You could see up front they were losing a little bit of steam on that drive, but those 2 plays on 2nd and 3rd down stopped the IMG drive.
And Wheeler Bowen able to sky this punt. And this will take an IMG bounce, and a great punt by Wheeler Bowen, as that will be not downed. That player's going to keep going for it. And we might see a penalty here on the substitution. It was not downed.
Wow, you're right. They never blew the whistle. So that's going to be about a 15-yard return. It was a fantastic punt.
So heads up to the Myrtle Beach player, and at least the Ascenders that prevented him from doing that. Nobody actually downed the ball for IMG Academy.
Just a mental mistake there, but gets Myrtle Beach out of the shadow of their own goalpost. But, Ryan, I really think this is going to be an intriguing second half because you can see Myrtle Beach just counting the amount of guys they have on the sideline. I count 24 players. IMG's got a lot more than that. So they're playing both sides of the ball. They're playing special teams, and it's really hot out there. So I got to wonder how things level out in the second half and whether IMG can take advantage of that man advantage.
So Spites from his own 18 takes the snap, and the hand is straight up the middle. And he's got room, and he might be gone. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown from 82 yards out. Wow.
I believe that was Tamarius Simmons for Myrtle Beach Prep. But a humongous play on 1st and 10 after a big stop by the Marauders defense, and even bigger run from the offense. And they're going to go right back to this unusual extra point formation. IMG had 4 hats on the runner last time. They might be adding even more this time.
And I think the idea is they want to pull maybe one more Ascender defender.
And it's going to be Monty Lewis lining up behind the center again.
And the odds now is you have the option to pass as well, but Monty Lewis is just going to run in,
Wow.
And the 2-point conversion is good.
Wow, what a job by the Myrtle Beach Prep coaching staff to come up with this formation, because it's 3 for 3 on working, and that's 3 extra points on the board that most teams wouldn't have after 3 touchdowns. They've essentially added a field goal just on that one formation alone. I mean, I got to wonder whether other coaches out there, if they see tape of this, might try it out themselves, because if you've got a guy with speed and you can spread the formation that wide and that open, why not use that speed?
And the idea there is if you do get enough guys to defend there, then Monty Lewis would have the option to throw behind that line of 7 guys to the one running back that's back there as well. So
yeah, it gives you options. And Lewis knew exactly what he was doing, because on the second extra point, they almost didn't get it because IMG was ready for the run up the middle. But he said, you know what? I've got my one blocker out to the right. I'm just going to use him and get to the pylon, and he did it so easily.
Taylor Evans and Julian Taylor back to return for the Ascenders. And you go back to the penalties that have cost IMG Academy, basically negating the 50-yard touchdown from Stacey Gage and then having to punt, and then that's the next play. And it is Austin Polson. You can see the wind blowing it off the tee.
The wind's going to be at the back of the kicker here, so you might see it take off if he can get it high enough.
Now Polson gets his toe into this one, and it is fielded. That is Julian Taylor, who's got some space, cuts up field back just across the 40. Down to the 42. He had some space.
Yeah, and I think he knows that if he had cut to the right, to the outside, he might have been able to go the distance because they had the edge sealed there for him. Still a good return. He's an excellent return man. I believe he's brought the ball out to the 40 every single time, and he's had 4 opportunities now. So nothing to hang your head about if you're him, but he might have been better served on that particular return to head towards the sideline.
So it is Stacey Gage and Xavier Terrell in the backfield with Anthony Arnaud, but we will have our water break. Take this time to thank our sponsors, Gatorade, Under Armour, and Zenith. Gatorade keeping our players hydrated, Under Armour keeping them well-dressed, and Zenith keeping them well-protected. Thank you for your continued sponsorship of IMG Academy Athletics.
Is this a must-score drive, Ryan, if you're IMG?
It's hard to say with still a whole half to play, but with 5:35, you're definitely going to want to put a touchdown on this drive. Otherwise, I've got a feeling the halftime conversation may not be too kind in the locker room.
And it's actually going to be Myrtle Beach Prep to get the ball starting the second half. So I think a field goal is totally fine here if you're IMG. You just got to get some points on the board to feel better about yourself and make it a straight 3-score game going into halftime, because right now it's 3 scores and a field goal. So any sort of points here helps. Obviously, a touchdown would be better, but they've got to get some sort of points on this drive, in my opinion, to keep this game close.
So 1st and 10 from their own 43-yard line. Again, the last drive did have a touchdown that was taken off the board due to a holding call. Now Arnaud takes the snap. Play action. They find Taylor Evans, who stays on his feet. He's got some space, and he cannot evade the tacklers, and he is brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, he did avoid the first tackler, and there's a flag. I think it's going to be against Myrtle Beach Prep for some taunting after the play. Evans did avoid one big hit and almost got through the second, but couldn't quite keep his balance. We'll see what the flag is. It was definitely after the play. And I think it is going to be on Myrtle Beach Prep. The official is trying to calm them down. They're flying around like crazy because of how excited they are for this 24-0 lead, but they do have to keep the emotions a bit in check.
And there it is. It's
offsetting, I think.
So 2 personal fouls going back and forth.
And they will offset, so I believe they'll. And it will be second down because it was after the play.
So 2nd and 11. Now the down marker going to the correct spot. Arnaud has Stacey Gage on his right hip. Now the snap. Arnaud looking downfield. Gets one off. It is caught. It's Malachi Matthews. And still on his feet. And looks like he got just enough for the first down before his forward progress was stopped. So a first down for the Ascenders, and Anthony Arnaud with a nice throw right to Malachi Matthews.
Yeah, both these quarterbacks have shown good competence in running this offense. They're comfortable. They know what they're doing. The execution just hasn't been as great, and the Myrtle Beach defense has made a couple of big plays. Other than that, the offense has been fine for IMG.
Arnaud takes the snap. Stacey Gage with some blocking help, and down he goes. Anthony Arnaud brought down back in Ascender territory. A loss of about 7 on the play.
Yeah, that's where the 2 shortfalls have been for IMG. It's been protecting the quarterback against the pass rush, and it's been the tackling and the secondary on defense. Those are the 2 things that have let them down in this game, because everything else to me has been pretty solid, especially up front. The lines have been okay in this game, but they have not protected Arnaud well when he's dropped back to pass.
Just under 4.5 minutes remaining in the half. And is Arnaud takes the snap, and looks like there might have been a false start. I believe that was Weston Adams who took a quick step off the line before the ball was snapped. So it'll move the Ascenders back 5 yards.
Yeah, and these are self-inflicted wounds, too. You can add penalties to the list of things that have not been great today for the Ascenders, because they are starting to pile up. That's at least 4 or 5 now that we've seen, and one of them cost them a touchdown.
Now 2nd and 18 from the 43-yard line of IMG Academy. Arnaud now has time to throw this one across the middle, and that should be a pass interference as Weston Adams had that one in stride and just absolutely destroyed before he got to the ball.
Yeah, Adams showed some frustration after that, not because he didn't make the catch, but because he knew if he did make the catch, he probably would have been gone for a touchdown. The safety came over and hammered him early, knowing that they had that play working.
Now, the last post-grad game we had, slightly different rules for the college level and the high school level. However, I do think we are under FHSAA rules, so normally a pass interference would be an automatic first down. Instead, it will just be 15 yards.
Which, of course, you don't see very often, a pass interference not leading to a first down.
This is a personal foul penalty against IMG and a pass interference.
Wow.
So another penalty, this one against IMG. The personal foul offset the pass interference.
They said hands to the face against IMG, so it must have been up front, but another offsetting personal foul situation.
Now the snap, Arnaud. Someone barreling down his blind side, and this one just tipped, and it's caught. And it looks like we may have a roughing penalty.
Yes. Great effort by the receiver to try and tiptoe the sideline there after the pass was deflected. But Arnaud took a big hit after the play, an obvious roughing the passer, and that will be a first down, I believe, for IMG.
And the referee did signal automatic first down.
So it is getting a little chippy out there. There's actually an injury on this play on that far sideline.
We have an injury timeout on the field.
So it will be 1st and 10. The Ascenders back in Marauder territory.
And it looks like it's the receiver who tried to make that spectacular catch along the sideline. I believe it's either Taylor or Evans. I think it's Julian Taylor down there.
Looks like they might be working out a cramp as well.
Yeah, he's up and working with the trainer on the Myrtle Beach side of the field. But he basically gave up his body trying to tiptoe the sideline and got laid out as the ball came in. Well, one thing I will point out, Ryan, as we talk about health and safety, I think they've done a great job here with the sidelines. You can see the players on both sides sitting in their chairs, socially distanced. It's not like how you want to do it. If you're a player, you want to be, up on the line with your teammates, watching the game up close, but that's obviously the safest thing to do in 2020. And both teams are doing it today. And I've covered some other games around high school football in Florida this year, and other teams are not doing that as they should. So a tip of the cap to IMG for keeping these young men safe.
And also each of these water coolers is assigned to a particular position group, or pods as they refer to them. But you notice for the most part all the IMG Academy players on the sideline staying with their particular position groups. Just one of the many COVID restrictions that have been implemented here to keep the Ascenders very safe.
And with cases spiking in the playoffs so close, I think you mentioned the word attempts to play a playoff game, the varsity team later on this season, because that's really where you're at. And some teams haven't taken it as seriously in the area. Some of the other schools that don't quite have these facilities that IMG does.
Paris in motion, the play action to Gage across the middle. It's Taylor Evans, gets his feet to the 30 and brought down at the 25. A nice route, and then it looks like there may be a face mask coming as well. As they were trying to bring down Taylor Evans, he was able to keep his feet. His forward progress is stopped, and that flag came in very quickly.
Yeah, again, shifty. I really like Evans. He's a steady receiver, showed good hands on that play, and a perfect strike from Arnaud, who put that ball right on target, and an excellent first down for the Ascenders.
A face mask penalty against Myrtle Beach.
So 1st and 10, and the Ascenders now the closest they have been to the end zone. And it comes with 3:36 remaining in the first half. Now Arnaud trying to get the hard count off, has Stacy Gage and Dorian Paris in the backfield with him. Now the snap, the hand is to Gage, trying to work his way, and he's able to evade one tackle and can't get past the third tackle, and he is brought down, but you can see he is very tough to bring down.
That was Jerome Parker, who was hanging on for dear life, and even with only 1 foot to work with, Gage was able to break a couple tackles, but still no gain to speak of. As we hit the final 3 minutes here in the first half.
So 2nd and 11. Same formation, Gage in motion. And now looking for the home run ball, trying to find Weston Adams, and almost comes down with it.
Brennan Nichols with a knockaway. Perfect ball from Arnaud right in the back of the end zone. But Nichols did the trick.
So 3rd and 11 from the Marauders 17-yard line. And they will take a timeout with 2:28 remaining in the half. Again, that last play they had Stacy Gage on that little wheel route and opted to go for the touchdown pass for Weston Adams.
Well, you got 2 guys on an island. You trust your receiver who had a height advantage in that spot. Just a better defensive play. And this is a good timeout. You know, you had some to work with. This might be your final drive of the half with just 2.5 minutes to go. And this is an important play. Again, I said before this drive, any point would be good. A field goal here does do IMG some good. But on 3rd and 10, if you can get a touchdown, it'd be better. So this is a good time to use that timeout, especially because you may not get the ball back here in this half.
2:28 when they break this timeout. And 0 is not a number that we're used to seeing for the Ascenders on the scoreboard at halftime, but right now they are trailing 24-0. So it is Arnaud with Paris on his left, Gage on his right. Man in motion is Weston Adams. Now the snap. And looking into the end zone for Malachi Matthews, and tripped up. No penalty flag. And it looks like we will see the field goal unit come out.
And Myrtle Beach Prep is showing that they have a complete defensive unit. We've seen the pass rush do so much damage today. Now it's the secondary standing tall. They had the bat away on the previous 2nd down throw, and then on 3rd down there was nowhere for Arnaud to throw the football, so he lofted it up to his tallest receiver, but double covered and just no chance to score. So it's all on the leg of the kicker now.
Be a 33-yard attempt. Snap is back. The hold is down. The kick is up. And no good. It looks like the wind may have just carried it wide right, so the Ascenders march down the field and just miss.
Well, we said that drive was almost a must score for IMG. They didn't do it. Now this becomes a must stop. You can't go down 30 going into the break. Obviously, it's a very long field for Myrtle Beach Prep. So if you're IMG, you just got to play bend but don't break. Don't take any chances. If they gain 5, no big deal. But you can't give up the big play, which they have done a couple times today. So you got to play disciplined here if you're the Ascenders and continue to play hard.
And that was Cole Cabo with the kicking duties. And Myrtle Beach Prep now with 2 minutes and 18 seconds remaining in the half. They will get the ball to start the second half. And Spites was probably the longest that the Marauder offense had been off the field, and that one straight up the middle and stopped before it could even get started. Nice defensive stand on first down for the Ascenders.
That was Juan Zabal Alonso with a great play, stuffing the middle.
Juan Zabal Alonso also plays running back. Basically, you could put him anywhere on the field, and he can play the position better than a lot of people in the country. One of the international players out of Mexico City. And just over 90 seconds remain in the half. Spites runs a little option and able to get away from the outstretched arms.
Late face mask call from the back judge. Just barely caught part of Spates' face mask, but he saw it.
Charlie Goodell also in on that after Liam McCormick.
And I wonder if that speeds up Spates and Myrtle Beach Prep at all, because they seemed content to just run the clock down there. But now when you tack on 15 yards, all of a sudden they're at the 39. Maybe they start to take some shots and speed things up.
The 1st and 10 clock running. Minute 20 remaining.
They're continuing their slow pace, but they're always capable of hitting a big one.
3 receivers left. Spites with the pitch out to the left and then brought down. Terrell Foster just in perfect pursuit, able to stop that play.
Yeah, great job by Foster, able to shed the stock block right as the runner was passing through and trip him up. Completely disrupted that play, and now Myrtle Beach Prep will use a timeout with less than a minute to go.
52.3 remaining, 24-0, the Marauder advantage over the Ascenders, who now seem to be kind of settling in on defense this drive.
Yeah,
this is the penalty.
This is what you wish you saw earlier from the IMG defense, because they look very ready to play right now, and they can only hope this continues in the second half, because if it does, we'll have ourselves a game.
The Ascenders now will not just be playing against Myrtle Beach Prep, but also against the clock. Again, this is the first year of the postgraduate program here at IMG Academy. Again, the national team, John, in the 6 years that I have been here at IMG, only with 2 losses to their name.
So you're not used to this, is what you're saying.
No, I'm not. Post-Grad losing a heartbreaker to open their season a few weeks ago. And now looking to bounce back here, hopefully in the second half. Now Spites takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He's got some space, and he's brought down. That was Peter Shanny busting through and shutting Spites down in the backfield. It'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and now the Marauders more than content to let the clock run. They will get the ball to start the second half as well.
And 20 seconds left on the play clock, so this will probably...
And now after about 20 seconds had run off, the timeout is finally called. There was about a 6-second differential play clock to game clock, so they were going to have to run another play regardless. Now with the timeout, of course, they will run another play and then see what happens on 4th down.
And IMG with a chance on special teams to potentially come back and score one in this final 20 seconds. And we'll see how they come out of 3rd down. Maybe even a chance to force a turnover. 3rd and 12 as they break the timeout. 21.7 seconds remaining. And it is Spites and Tymerius Simmons in the backfield. And a little bit of a delayed snap. Spites very elusive in the backfield. And then finally, Shanny is able to wrap him up. And Liam McCormick's there as well. Down he goes. And a big loss. And it'll bring up 4th down with about 10 seconds remaining. And we'll see if the Ascenders maybe want to take a timeout.
Yeah, and they did. They're going to have to reset the clock. It's out 2 seconds right now. I believe they called the timeout with about 6 or 7 seconds left. So we'll at least have time for a punt and see what they can do.
And yeah, there should be about 6 or 7 seconds left on the clock. And you would have to assume that Myrtle Beach Prep would just try and put this one out of bounds as the last play of the half. And I think that's the discussion that the coaches are having. And they're trying to tell the guys in the booth to add some time to the clock. And they will put 10 seconds on the clock.
All right, so maybe time for 2 plays. A punt return and then 1 play from scrimmage, perhaps? Depends how high the punt goes, I guess. As those can hang in the air for 5 seconds on their own.
And it looks like they've actually got their offense on the field, so a little risky. Maybe a potential pooch play from Spite.
Or just confidence in the defense that even if IMG gets 1 play, they're not going to score from 30-plus yards out. But definitely an interesting call. Oh.
And the hard count will get them 5 yards closer. Ascender's very eager to stop whatever play that was going to be for Myrtle Beach Prep. From the 37, this is, looks like 4th and 12. Now the snap. Spites looking deep downfield and now just kind of running out the clock.
Yep.
And a huge pancake block putting McCormick on his back. And now Spike's looking for that home run ball and
out of bounds.
A nice throw and nice catch, but out of bounds. And that will do it at the end of the first half of play. IMG Academy 0. Myrtle Beach Prep Marauders with 24. We'll step aside for halftime and do it again in about 15 minutes. You're watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV.
IMG goes on the road Saturday to play number 6 Duncanville. So you got a 1 versus 6.
Yeah, I just love the fact that IMG is going back to Texas. You know, you brought up the last time they went there was 2015.
Going into the week of Duncanville week, we called it, kids talked about some downtime for us just to recover and grow as a team. You know, Victory Monday this week consists of taking them to the beach where the players could just lounge out and start to enjoy each other. We had players play in the ocean. We had guys study on the beach. So it was a great way just to fool around with our guys, get to know them in a different site, and we did a great job with it.
Had a lot of motivation in us going into Duncanville, and just the practice energy was definitely different from the weeks prior. It was an unneeded motivation that was just in us, and we were ready to play. This is a game that I've been excited for. There is no fear, there is no pressure felt when we put in the work that we do and we prepare the way we prepare. We love when everyone's against us, and it adds another chip on our shoulder. Just keep going and prove that we're the best team in the country.
Y'all got an amazing opportunity, man, for real. Like, coming to IMG, man, like, it really changed my life for real. Just my first, week I got there. DeAndre, Tony Jones. I met Bo before he left. A lot of guys, man, plenty of guys that I still talk to this day. Like, in the Snapchat group chat with Tony and, 3 other guys that I went to school with. It's just like a brotherhood, bro. Like, y'all gonna know y'all teammates through college, through league. Got to Alabama, man, met Bo. Like, me and Bo was like this just because we went to IMG together. Like, that was a connection right there. And then just the IMG connection, when I say that, bro, tomorrow y'all really got to go out there and play, as brothers, like y'all knew each other since y'all was yay high. Because that's just what it's going to be. If y'all don't do that, bro, this team, they're going to run through y'all.
Thank you. Having the alums come back and really share their experience about brotherhood, that's the big message that came across. And the other message was that we don't lose in Texas. And our guys really gravitated to his speech, and he really set the bar high for us, and the guys lived it.
Very excited about having an opportunity to play Texas. I mean, we've been down, Greg's been here since a sophomore, and I finally see a Texas team on the schedule is huge.
Very important that the number one thing that we need to deal was that one of us would always come to his game. We're so proud of him, and he worked so hard, and IMG has been the best for us.
For us to be able to go to every game, either one of us or both of us, it's been really, really special. It's great for him to have all of his friends from home. We have a ton of family and friends here that came down from Chicago to support Jay.
Nigel Harris,
continually grow mentally.
Number 74 center,
Greg
Privet.
When he does go
Number 56 right guard, Ethan Lang.
Whatever you do. So,
Number 54 right tackle.
Welcome into the high school football game of the year. This big matchup between the #1 team in the nation, IMG Academy, and the Duncanville Panthers from just down the road here in the Metroplex, ranked number 6. Would you believe 49 players in this game have at least one FBS offer?
Y'all control this game. Y'all are going to be the reason we have that ring on our finger at the end of the year. Let's go, baby. Bring it up, bring it up, bring it up.
Hey, y'all lost him. I'm going to die for y'all, all right?
Let's go, boys. Hey, brotherhood on me, on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Brotherhood. We are ready to go from Globe Life Park.
Ready?
And now we get a look at J.J. McCarthy.
Hey, he's coming. Hey, he's coming.
On 3rd and 12, McCarthy has a pocket. Throws left, and it is somehow caught. Racing down the sideline, Malik McClain, and pushed out of bounds.
All right, kick it. We need to have protection. We do. It's just that they brought 6 instead of 5.
IMG Academy up 3-0 on the 31-yard field goal by Gavin Martin.
Here we go, D. Let's go.
3rd and 1. Little pass out in front. Roger Chambers Jr. First down and more. Splitting defenders to the 20, to the 10. Duncanville on top.
That's too soft for 3rd down now. Let's go.
I don't think IMG has been behind at any point this season. And how often does Duncanville come into a game where they're the underdog?
We're going to go, offense. Let's go. Here we go.
1st and 10 out to the 39. IMG facing a deficit. McCarthy, no pressure. Wings it near side. Wide open. Sean Miller down the sideline.
That's the way to respond to.
10-7 ball game. Here's 3rd down for Duncanville. Play action. James pulls it down. James is hit. And he's sacked again. Once more, Malik Bryant, his 2nd sack of this first half. 4th down.
You hate to see that Duncanville unable to do anything with that good field position after making a big stop. And now IMG, want to see if they can get their passing game going.
11-11.
My gentlemen, let's go.
There they come, 3rd and 11. McCarthy up the middle, wide open. Touchdown, Ja'Cory Brooks. And IMG extends their lead. It's 17-7 over Duncanville.
Take a step back and look what you think's going on in their locker room. This is their season. This is their season on the line. They're going to give us everything they have this second half. Everything.
Duncanville will have the ball first to start the second half.
And we were talking about it during the break. This is a huge, huge opportunity for Duncanville. They need to secure the football on this kickoff and have a great offensive drive.
Big down, let's go.
Fires over the middle, and it's picked off. O.J. Burrows. Here comes the blitz on 3rd and 12. They don't get home. Over the middle. Oh, what a grab! A diving snag by Orange Allen. And again, to the freshman for the first time, Stacey Gill.
That's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it.
Running it up, coming correct or I come at your neck. Busting it down like a rollie or something. Ooh, yeah. I got the pack. Running the play with no huddle.
I'm saying, we did it. That's those battle scars, boy. That's those battle scars.
IMG Academy continues to march toward their goal of a national championship and picking up a 41-14 win over Duncanville.
Shows when you wake up every day, 6 o'clock in the morning, don't get to go to bed till 10:30 at night, don't get back to your room till 7 at night. I mean, it shows how much hard work we put in, how much preparation, and how we have such a passion for this game. When you bring the thing about us is we came together as one. We're one family right now, one heartbeat, and it's showing every single week. So I just can't wait to see what the future holds for us, and I'm so excited to get things going. Great win on the Bishop Sycamore.
You know, every week may be a different week. We focus on the day, getting better fundamentally, getting better with the concepts, and still continue to grow as a team. You just don't know if we're gonna get the next week. So the biggest thing that we do is focus on the daily routine that we have. And now we have a game this week coming up, so we're really excited about it.
There's a fog out there, and it's calling you by name. It wants to wrap its whole self around you, make you forget who you are. But you won't forget. You've got to find your way through that fog, through the unknown. There's only one way. Run it.
Talk a little bit about wall training. Let's go.
We're going to go 3 different types of lunges.
Just keep that back flat. Today we're going to take it through a full body workout. So let's go.
IMG Plus online camps take the world-renowned coaching and training methodology that helps create high-performing athletes here on site in Bradenton, Florida, and makes it accessible online, allowing for athletes to the ease and convenience of training without having to travel. While most online training platforms feature only pre-recorded instruction, IMG Academy Plus camps deliver daily live video sessions and interactions with IMG coaches and personalized analysis of your game. So not only do we provide a proven training plan, we evaluate and provide feedback on your progress so you know what to do and how to continue improving. So first you have to select the week that you would choose to partake in the activity. On Monday, you'll have a live video call with your coach that will give you instruction and explanation for the week's curriculum. Next, you'll receive access to your plan for the week. Now, this is going to be specific training that is tied to sports development as well as your APD curriculum. APD will include performance training in areas like movement, mental training, and athletic regeneration. Throughout the week, you're going to record yourself or have someone record your actions. You'll submit those videos to your coach for full analysis, and then they will be returned each day. The process will continue Monday through Friday, and at the end of the week, you'll have a full training experience that touches on all of the different aspects in that sport and all levels of development. So the coaches that are going to be working with our virtual campers are going to be the same coaches that work with our student athletes, with our campers, and with our pros that train here on site year-round. They're going to use some of the same methodology that has helped IMG Academy student athletes become some of the world's top athletes.
You think you know us? You think you know what we're about?
One IMG Academy here in Florida.
You think you know what it takes to succeed here? To focus? To grind?
Here we go.
Every single day? You don't even know the half of it.
Let's go.
This here is a brotherhood. We're talking about a got your back now and forever.
Let it out.
Push you harder than you've ever been pushed kind of brotherhood. It's a brotherhood that recognizes the success that came before us and the expectations for us to maintain it. Because the last thing we'd ever do is disappoint our brothers.
24th pick, Cesar Ruiz. 44th pick, Grant Delpit. 46th pick, KJ Hamler.
Scarborough breaks the tackle, surging forward, he's in for the touchdown.
We hear what you're saying. The haters, the doubters, the people who throw shots without any idea of the work we put in and the sacrifices we make. But we'll let you in on a little secret. It doesn't matter. You know why? We hold ourselves to a higher standard than anyone could ever set for us. Work harder. Get stronger. Be smarter. Play faster. Dream bigger.
Unreal. IMG dominating.
This one getting a little out of control.
This is a brotherhood. So you think you know us? Well, you're about to find out.
The academic programs at IMG Academy are designed to be complementary to our athletic programs, but our goal is to be admitted and successful at the nation's most select institutions. The competition that's out on the field or on the court turns over into the classroom where students are looking to push themselves. Each year, we generally feature National Merit Scholars, AP Scholars, the Service Academies, the Ivy Leagues, elite academic D3 institutions, and everywhere in between. Ultimately, we want to provide the best fit for each of our student athletes. The academic program has 3 tracks. First and foremost is our college preparatory track. Then we have a full honors track beginning in 8th grade. And then lastly, we have AP courses for our most academically competitive students. Over the last few years, the academic program has grown both in its physical size, as we recently added 30,000 square feet for an increased number of classrooms, a dedicated English as a second language space, 2 hands-on engineering labs, as well as a broadcast TV studio space. We've increased the overall number of faculty to help keep our class sizes down, as well as add depth and breadth to the curriculum by adding new courses each year. At IMG Academy, our goal is to provide the skills and the knowledge to help our student athletes prepare for success at their chosen college or university.
IMG Academy is easily one of the most unique places in the country.
All right, let's go. Let's get to work.
Every college, every university, every major program in the country comes to IMG to recruit these kids.
LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, Georgia's, they're going to come knocking on our door because our kids are ready to play right away, ready to compete.
If you can prove yourself at IMG, you can go on to the next level and be successful.
You're here for a reason, and this place is filled with the best.
You know, as an athlete, they want to get better every day. And these kids come here because of the competition and be the best that they can
Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium, getting ready to start second half action. Alongside my broadcast partner,
if we
John
think
Vetus,
as
I am
one,
Ryan
we're going to
Sudol.
accomplish a lot of
The
our
Ascenders
goals.
now trail 24-0 to Myrtle Beach Prep and the Marauders. Really having no answer. They
Welcome
did have
to
a
the
touchdown
Bradenton
taken
area,
off
where
the
the
board
easy
because
pace of
a
island
holding
life
penalty.
comes naturally in
So
this
they will
coastal
need a
playground
big
with
defensive stop
endless
to start
white
the
sand
second half.
beaches, stunning
Try to
natural
answer and get some
preserves,
points on the board.
relaxing vibes all around, and it's a
Well, it's an
seafood
uphill
lover's
climb for the
paradise.
Ascenders at
Stay
this
a while
point,
to
but they are
explore
Ascenders
downtown
after all.
Bradenton,
They are
with top-rated
capable of quite a
attractions
lot.
and a friendly
We've seen it
community
with their
set
other
along the
teams, the
Bradenton Riverwalk.
varsity
Come lose
team and the
yourself in the
national team. There's
sun-drenched
tons
Gulf
of talent
Coast of
out on the field
Florida
for
and
them.
change your
The
reality
one
in the
big factor
Bradenton
I brought up
area.
in the
Learn
first
more
half a
at
couple of times, there's just more
BradentonGolfIslands.com.
bodies on the IMG sideline than the opposing sideline, and it was quite an emotional high for Myrtle Beach Prep to go up 24-0 in the first half, and they expended a lot of energy. They've got a lot of two-way players, so that's the one big advantage IMG has, fresher bodies on a very hot day here in Bradenton.
Coaches who have earned their stripes.
Cole Cava, they tried to just dart one to the side.
Training day after day. Drilled until second nature.
Maybe trying to bounce it off of one of those front linemen on special teams. Instead, he sends it out, and there will be a penalty.
Don't wait for tomorrow.
It didn't go all that well,
Make
but
the days count.
you like the idea. Try and get yourself the
Gatorade
ball
has carbs to fuel
down
and
by
electrolytes to
3+
help replenish,
scores.
so you can count on the proven formula.
But now let's see what
Nothing
this
beats
Myrtle
Gatorade.
Beach Prep offense can do, because they did a whole lot in the first half, especially in the first quarter, getting to the outside, breaking tackles deep down the field, and breaking off some big plays. Their quarterback is very elusive. We haven't seen him throw the ball too much, but he is capable. Now, I wonder if this is a permanent change at quarterback, or if Spites, who's listed on the roster as an athlete, is going to play some wide receiver or tight end, or using trick plays. We'll see, but it's an interesting change to make with your team winning the game pretty handily, to go to a different quarterback to start the second half.
Your better got
See if he's maybe injured on the sideline.
Was every day.
And he did try and heave that play at the end of the first half.
This is your game. You live it, breathe it,
pitch out,
dream it.
Brought down right at midfield.
And so do we. We design it.
Goes
Test
Darius Simmons
build it,
on the carry, but that's a great point, Ryan. That last play before the half, there was a heavy collision when
This
Spites was running
is
all
what
over the
you
field to try and
live
burn the
for.
clock, so it could be an injury.
Zenith. Live your game.
And there's another player warming up, is Zimazu Ozigwe, who's listed as a receiver, is playing catch on the sideline as well.
Francis Brown, the quarterback, he'll keep it himself, runs to the right, and brought down after breaking further into Ascender territory.
You wonder if the Marauders go a little more run-heavy in this half to keep the clock rolling, because without their starting quarterback in there, they're just trying to get this game to the finish and come away with the win. So essentially trying to hang on and then hopefully maybe break a couple big plays to get another touchdown or two on the board, and then that would probably be enough.
So 2nd and 7. Wouldn't be surprised to see an attempted hard count here to get 5 free yards and catch IMG a little too much on their toes. Brown takes the snap. And right up the middle. And Simmons is wrapped up.
Well, we saw a really nice stand from the IMG defense on their final possession of the first half, and it seems like they're picking up where they left off right here with one more big play to make to get the ball into their hands.
And 3rd and 6 from the Ascender 45. And now on the snap to Brown, option running left. He'll keep it himself and fall just shy of the 40 to about the 42. And decision time for Myrtle Beach Prep and the Marauders.
Well, this part of the field, they're going to go for it, 4th and 4. The only other option would be to punt.
And they try the hard count, so they'll look to the sideline. Now Brown takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. He runs to his right. And Christian Johnson trying to shove him out of bounds, and it looks like they might, depending on where it's spotted.
I think he's 1 yard short. He got to the edge well, but couldn't quite turn the corner enough, and it will be IMG football.
And a turnover on downs and a nice stand on the first defensive drive for the Ascenders.
It's been all or no since that second fumble from the other quarterback, Hooper. So we might see them air it out a little bit more here down by 24.
So 1st and 10, the first offensive play for the IMG Academy Ascenders for the second half. 9 minutes remaining in the third quarter. In this one, the route almost jumped. A little miscommunication with Arnaud and Malachi Matthews.
Yeah, Matthews ran a fly, and Arnaud was expecting a curl, and he never curled.
So, incomplete pass. Lucky that wasn't intercepted. It probably would have been a pick 6. So 2nd and 10. 3 receivers to the right of Anthony Arnaud. And there's the snap, the hand to Paris, who's got some room. And he breaks into Marauder territory just across midfield. Looks like it should be enough for a first down. Nice run by Dorian Paris.
Yeah, great blocking to the right side of the line. That would be Krajinovic and Aluba.
2 receivers to each side. Arnaud takes the snap. Little quick play action, and he is absolutely dropped in the backfield. London Tillman.
Yeah, Krajinovic was out on an island with Tillman, and Tillman just busted through to the inside shoulder of the right tackle.
And there is a down player for Myrtle Beach Prep.
Could be a cramp as he kind of fell down late in that sequence. Looking at the right ankle, it appears. And it was well after the play that he dropped down to the ground. So either a cramp or might have rolled the ankle there late. And the way the trainer's working on it does look like it might be a right calf cramp, which we may see more of here today. It's unseasonably warm. Temperatures in the mid to upper 80s with the real feel in the 90s. And you can see it, nothing but sunshine at this stage. It was cloudy this morning, but things have really cleared up on this Saturday afternoon.
There you also see national team head coach Bobby Acosta checking on the down player as well. And that was London Tillman.
The man who made the sack.
You can see, though, that some of those players on that small roster have already lost their quarterback. And now, again, with that explosive burst that Tillman have, again, the more players that drop, the better the chance of IMG coming back into this game are. 2nd and 17. Arnaud takes the snap. Pressure coming across the middle and hangs out Weston Adams, and he's unable to come down with it.
Well, Adams got really high there to try and reel it in, but couldn't quite hang on as he was hit on his way down. That was Joseph Sloan on the hit. But again, the pass protection has not been there for IMG, especially on the outside. Arnaud had to rush that one.
3rd and 17 from their own 43-yard line. The line to gain is the Myrtle Beach Prep 40. And Arnaud running for his life, and he's brought down again. Leon Jackson into the backfield quickly, and that'll bring up 4th and very long in a punting situation for the Ascenders.
I mean, there are guys on the offensive line who are just breaking out of their stance and just standing there, and defenders are blowing right past them and sacking Arnaud. I mean, they rushed 4 there against 6 down linemen, and there were two of the 4 rushers were not touched. So they've got to clean that up before they can even think about coming back in this game.
And so far, Myrtle Beach Prep has yet to really try to pressure any of the punters, as this one will take in a sender bounce. And it is muffed, and it looks like it might be recovered by IMG. And it was Myrtle Beach, and they tried again. They saw that IMG special teams had kind of been apathetic with where that punt was going, and he was going to try and catch them off guard and just overran it, but Myrtle Beach Prep able to come up with it.
And not sure what the returner was thinking on that. It was not a great punt. You might as well just take your good field position and move on, but he was fortunate to get away with that mistake. And it's going to continue to be Francis Brown at quarterback. So again, Spates is out, and that's the one glimmer of hope right now if you're IMG, is that their quarterback is no longer in this game.
They were still able to move the ball a little bit on their last drive, but we'll see if Francis Brown can help the Marauders try to extend their 3-score lead. Now Brown takes the snap, and they try to run it straight up the middle, and they'll get about 3 on the play. It'll bring up 2nd and 7.
We haven't seen much of Feaster since the first quarter because things have really opened up for the Marauders. So they haven't had many traditional runs between the tackles, but Feaster is their traditional running back, and he definitely has some speed.
So Francis Brown and Rashad Feaster in the backfield. Now the snap, rolling left, and now Brown will try and throw it and just skips it right at the ankles of Monty Lewis. And that'll bring up 3rd and 7.
Well, that's it right there. IMG has to be the ones applying the pressure, and they certainly did that. And the quarterback, Brown, was on his heels and was not able to make an accurate throw. So they have to be the ones they have to be the aggressor here, and they were on that play.
Another chance for the Ascender defense to make a stop. And they will jump and give 5 free yards up to the Marauders. So 3rd and 7 is now going to be 3rd and 2.
Now it's Charlie Goodell jumping early.
So 3rd and 2. Ascenders need a big stop. 2 receivers to each side of Brown. They take the snap, and it's incomplete. It was forward, but that was on that very close line of possibly being a fumble.
We had a perfect angle on that pass. Definitely was a forward pass, but not a good one from Brown. I mean, that's a routine swing pass, and he short-armed it. Like a pitcher spiking a fastball in front of home plate. Not a good throw, and they'll have a decision to make now. They were about 6 yards further down the field on 4th and 4 and went for it. So you'd expect them to go for it on 4th and 2, but we'll see. They've got time to think about it now.
They will take the water break. Again, 24-0 the score, and the Ascenders, again, need this stop and need to get some points on the board. So they were able to get the turnover on downs on their last 4th down stop. And we'll see what that defensive line for IMG Academy and linebackers have in store for this 4th down play. And the Marauders getting the officials some water during that hydration break as well.
Again, Arnaud is getting his left knee stretched out. He's been hit a handful of times today, and I guess the last one did get to him.
And now they bring the house, and Brown is able to complete one. And Monty Lewis is able to get the first down for Myrtle Beach Prep.
Well, that was a much more accurate throw from Brown. Nice loose arm action and hit the receiver perfectly.
So 1st and 10. Again, time now working against IMG Academy here in the second half as well. Now the snap, play action. Brown's going to keep it himself. He's got some space, and he's tripped up. He had daylight in front of him and is tripped up just inside the 20, and that is saving 6 points for IMG.
That was DeMarco Cuffey tripping up the quarterback, but Brown showing quite a burst there. Was just a couple of inches away from breaking a long touchdown run. He'll settle for a 20-yard run, still a big play.
So 1st and 10 from the 19. And Myrtle Beach Prep just trying to put this game away. Trips bunch to the left. Now Brown takes the snap, pressure coming. Throwing that little outside route to the corner of the end zone, and incomplete. Almost made the adjustment in midair, but incomplete, intended for Jalen Cheney.
Well, whatever the Marauders coaches told Brown during that water break certainly worked, because he's come out with a world of confidence, completing a tough pass on 4th down, and then springing a long run before airing out a deep pass there, which was almost on target, but a lot of confidence to deliver a pass like that. And so now they aren't losing much, dropping from Spates down to Brown. Brown's starting to show what he's made of.
He's got 3 receivers to his left. Now takes the snap. Brown finds one in the backfield, and that play snuffed out quickly. Great coverage by Terrell Foster.
Yeah, nowhere for Polson to go there. That was very well covered by the Ascenders.
So 3rd and 13. Another gut check time for the Ascender defense.
Well, they've been forcing these 3rd and 4th down plays, but so far have not been able to get off the field. Maybe this is the time.
Now Brown takes the snap. Pressure coming. Again, looking into the end zone and locked up. And there is a flag thrown.
And it's going to be against IMG. The side ref did not throw the flag. He was the one closer to the play. It was the back judge that's going to get IMG for pass interference. That was a close play, or a close call, I should say, on a clear collision between the corner and the receiver. There was plenty of contact. but whether it was initiated by the defense or not was kind of the question, and they will call pass interference against IMG.
And now this is interesting because it is a half the distance penalty.
I thought it was one of those plays where the ball being overthrown kind of led the receiver to run through the corner, which would be IMG's argument for a no call, and clearly the side judge agreed with that. But it was almost too much contact to be ignored.
And it will still be third down.
Now they had the down wrong. It's still third down. But again, one of those rare instances where a long penalty does not lead to a first down.
Looks like it's about 3rd and 3. So still a chance for the Ascenders to make a stop. Pressure coming, and this one is intercepted. Coming down with it is DeMarco Cuffey. He has been a defensive anchor for the Ascenders on this drive, and he'll put the Ascender offense back on the field.
Great awareness by Cuffey on a misfire by Brown. Instead of fixing his eyes on the receiver, he kept his head up, saw where the throw was coming from, and was able to just kind of stay there and pick it off on a line. Great job by Cuffey, and a big play for the Ascenders defense to keep their hopes alive.
So the longest field that the Ascenders have had all game, they are in the shadow of their own end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line.
And Hooper is back in at quarterback.
Day Hooper has Julian Taylor, also Davis Hawkins to his right. Now Hooper takes the snap, rolls to his left. He's going to keep it himself and gets just enough to give the Ascender offense some breathing room.
But you got to work fast now, especially if you're going to run the ball a lot with Hooper in there. We're under the 5-minute mark of the third quarter, and you've got to get 3 scores and then either a field goal or 3 2-point conversions. So you can't wait around between plays. You got to go hurry up if you're going to run the ball.
Second and 6 from the Ascender 8. Hooper has Stacy Gage to his right, Xavier Terrell to his left. Now the snap, the hand to Gage, who's looking for space. He bounces up the middle, good enough for the first down.
Yeah, and you can see Gage saying, let's go, hurry up, because they are subbing a couple guys in and out on every play, but the play calls have to be quicker. The setup at the line has to be quicker.
Now the snap, the hand to Gage again as he has tried to be tackled down from his helmet and still on his feet.
Yeah.
Kind of shocked they didn't throw a face mask there.
It took 4 defenders to bring him to the ground, but the clock continues to run.
3 minutes and 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Gage to Hooper's right, Parrish to his left. Hooper takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Goes to the left side, and he is upended while running towards the sideline. And a flag coming in very late. My guess is that's probably some kind of language that an official heard. And it is unsportsmanlike conduct against Myrtle Beach Prep.
Yeah, huge break for IMG because Des Frazier came flying through to make a big defensive play and force 3rd and long, but instead the Ascenders will get an automatic first down.
Apologize for the technical difficulty. Try to get picture back. We'll give you the best we can from a radio broadcast style. So Hooper. On 1st and 10. Nathaniel Castro to the near side. Also Taylor Evans. Now Hooper takes the snap. Play action to Gage. Hooper fires one to the near sideline and tries to get Taylor Evans. And Hooper takes a hit. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, there's no doubt he's got a good arm. Got it out there towards the sideline, but a little overthrown with pressure coming. And Arnaud, by the way, has been on the sideline getting his left hip worked on throughout this 3rd quarter, which is the reason Hooper is in there right now. But they use Hooper plenty. He is comfortable out on the field leading the offense. But there is an injury, it appears, to the other quarterback, Anthony Arnaud.
Taylor in motion. Now Hooper is going to keep it himself, running to the left. And he is brought down. It'll bring up 3rd.
Yeah, nowhere for Hooper to go there. He tucked it and ran pretty quickly in that sequence, but was ushered to the sideline quickly for no gain. And it'll set up a 3rd and 10 for IMG. 3rd and 11, really. Lost a yard there.
2 minutes, 30 seconds, and counting for the Ascenders, trying to get their first points of the afternoon. Hooper takes the snap. Pressure coming in just outside of the reach of Dorian Paris. It'll bring up 4th down in a punting situation.
Yeah, again, just too much pressure coming from the defensive line of Myrtle Beach Prep. There was no time for Hooper to make a play. Tried to dump it off and just couldn't find his running back. If they did get that pass completed, they might have had a chance to get the 1st down on 3rd and long because there was plenty of space in the flat there for the running back to take off, but instead they'll look to punt. And again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We are going to try and get you some pictures as soon as possible. Our technical staff, including Ryan right now, is on it, so I'll hang with you for the moment. 4th and 11, it's a low line drive punt. And a good one, fielded at the 24 of Myrtle Beach. Return man brings it forward, slips a couple tackles, and is taken down after a 13-yard return. That was Monty Lewis moving forward. And so 1st and 10 coming for Myrtle Beach Prep at their own 40-yard line. Score remains 24-0 Marauders, and they get the ball back here with a comfortable lead. Francis Brown, the backup quarterback, is back in the shotgun as we have a bit of a break here on change of possession. But Brown will lead the offense again. We have not seen any scoring here in this 2nd half. They've traded some punts. And now we have a whistle. I think a team used a timeout. Myrtle Beach Prep is calling a timeout. We're slow to set up the offense there after the punts, and so they'll take a moment, as will we, to try and get you some video back. So both teams retaking the field here on this sunny afternoon in Bradenton. 1:58 to go in the third quarter, as Francis Brown gets set to lead the offense back out onto the field. They have had their way this afternoon. They're going to go trips left here on 1st and 10, working from right to left. Brown in the gun with one back to his left. Trips left and a receiver right. No tight ends in the first down formation for the Marauders. Brown gets the snap, hands it off, up the middle, and not much there. Good defensive push from Ethan Lang, the defensive lineman who wrapped up running back Rayshad Feaster for no gain. Brings it up 2nd and 10 for Myrtle Beach Prep. Clock rolling at 1:35. They stick with the 4-receiver formation, now 2 to either side. And Feaster in the backfield behind Brown. IMG shows blitz. They rush 5. It's a handoff, and there's nothing there. Absolutely smothered by the IMG defensive line. That was Ethan Lang again, bursting through the middle to stuff the running back for a loss of 3.
And with just a minute remaining, again, apologize with no video feed, so we'll do the best to keep you up to date. And this will be 3rd and 13. Myrtle Beach Prep from their own 37-yard line. Another chance for an IMG stop. Now Brown throws this one. Little quick hitch route and not going to be enough for the first down. Bring up 4th.
That was Jalen Cheney on the reception. So it looks like Myrtle Beach Prep is going to punt, and I believe this is only their 2nd punt of the entire game. Unless they're thinking about going for it on 4th and 7 in their own territory. They're at their own 43. Brown, the quarterback, is still out on the field. We've seen Polson do the kickoffs for them, and now they are going to call timeout. So that's the 2nd timeout, or excuse me, that's the end of the 3rd quarter. So they did let the clock roll there, and we've hit the end of the 3rd. It's 24-0 Myrtle Beach Prep on top of the IMG Post-Grad team.
You are watching Ascender Football on IMG Academy TV. Welcome back to IMG Academy Stadium. 4th quarter action. The Ascenders trail by 24-0. Now trying to force Myrtle Beach Prep off the field. And it looks like they will go for it on 4th and 7. And a false start's going to make it 4th and 12 and a break for the Ascenders.
I mean, I'm very surprised they're going for it in this spot. Usually when you're in front as they are by 3 scores, you can kind of play conservative, play for field position, let your defense do what they've done all day, which is stop IMG.
It's also one of those situations in a second year as a post-grad program. We've already seen that most of the kicking duties are being done by Polson, And another false start. And they might just not have either a long snapper or a punter.
Certainly possible. I wonder if Brown has a pooch punt in his arsenal, but they're going the wrong direction. That's back-to-back false starts.
So it was 4th and 7 and now 4th and 17. And a much shorter field for the Ascenders as long as they can stand tough here. And they do just go with that quick pooch kick and
wow,
an excellent bounce inside the Ascender 20.
Oh, the best punt we've seen all day has come from a quarterback now. That's a 45-yard punt or so. Got a couple of good bounces to go with it, but what a job by Brown.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ascenders, a long field to go. But they are getting shut out at home, something that we are not typically accustomed to seeing.
I mean, I'd love to know the last time any IMG team got shut out at home.
Well, the national team has never lost here at IMG Academy Stadium. Going back to Shea Patterson's first game in a preseason contest against American Heritage on a very controversial final play of the game. But since that day, there has not been a loss at home, and now the hand is to Dorian Paris as he is dragging defenders. And a nice gain for Dorian Paris on 1st down.
You got to wonder how much Hooper can air it out. At this point, you're not really playing the scoreboard. You're just kind of playing the opponent. See if you can win each play, because it's a tall task to come down from 24 points in 1 quarter. Another injury stoppage here for a Myrtle Beach defensive lineman or linebacker who looks to be cramping.
The Ascenders needing more positive plays. Her player, I believe, was number 52, London Tillman. Seen him make some big plays, but also this is the second time he's had to walk off the field with a knock.
Yeah, same calf that was bothering him in the 2nd quarter. Cramping up again.
Now Hooper takes the snap and throws this one over the head of Weston Adams. And frustrated at himself on overshooting his man.
Yeah, just too much zip, and now you've got a 3rd down play that's got to be made.
3rd and 4 from the 26. Julian Taylor in motion. Now the snap, the hand up the middle. Paris has some room. He tries to get to the outside. Shakes one. He's up past the 30.
I think he's got the 1st down. Great run.
So the drive will stay alive. He's shoved into poor London Tillman on the sideline there, who just went off with an injury, and then he gets shoved into the sideline. And a 1st down for the Ascenders.
Good hard run, though, by Paris. He has shown some good life here in the 2nd half and moves the chains on what was 3rd and fairly long.
1st and 10. And another injured player. They continue to drop the Florida heat.
Yeah, that's got to be what it is. Not that Myrtle Beach is a cold climate, but they haven't been practicing in 86 and sunny very much the last few weeks up there. So the heat at this stage of the day is just getting to those leg muscles a little bit.
So 1st and 10. Just under 11 minutes remaining for the Ascenders to try and get some points and get back into this game. Now Hooper, low snap. He's going to keep it himself. Runs to his right. Shakes one. He's up past the 40. Tries to cut it back right at midfield. He's going to get enough for the first down and move the chains.
Yeah, beautiful run by Hooper, just picking his spot on the right side there. Got a couple of good blocks and gets another IMG first down.
And the clock will stop. 1st and 10 from their own 48. And the hard count will be a encroachment. Definitely one of the more penalized games that we've seen here.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've had a lot of flags on both sides in this game, a lot of personal fouls as well.
1st and 5. Now the snap for Hooper. Fires one to the right, has Matthews. And going the wrong direction, he is stood up right about the line of scrimmage. Maybe a yard positive on the play.
Yeah, just great pursuit there by Myrtle Beach Prep. They had 3 yellow jerseys knocking down the receiver there on a pretty short out route. Usually that's the kind of play you see one corner on an island with the receiver, but the linebacker help got there so quick. So not much again. We've seen it all day. Any catch an IMG receiver has made, they've been quickly brought to the ground. No yards after catch at all.
So 2nd and 4. Now Hooper takes the snap. Has Weston Adams at the 50, who cuts up field. He's to the 40. Tries to stiff arm one, takes the helmet off. And good for a first down.
A great blocking on the outside that time from IMG. Davis Hawkins, the tight end, had just a beautiful seal block to spring the receiver there and get them a nice chunk play. Now getting deeper into Myrtle Beach Prep territory at the 35. So Hooper will stay in the gun. 4 receivers, 2 to either side. Hawkins, the tight end, is in the slot right. Paris is the running back. They send a man in motion. They hand it off to Paris, up the middle, plenty of space, first down and more, and finally tripped up at the 20. That's a 15-yard run up the middle for Dorian Paris. So the Fort Myers native is picking up major rushing yardage now. And IMG is on the move. 1st and 10 from the 22. Hooper in the gun, 4 receivers again. Paris to his right. They look to the sideline for a new play call. Marauders showing blitz here on first down. Trying to maintain the shutout. They hand it off to Paris. No, Hooper keeps it on the right side. Able to split a couple defenders, dragging a linebacker forward close to the sticks. Well, there was not much there for Hooper to work with. But he was able to plunge forward and pick up 9. It'll be 2nd and 1 from the 13. And now a timeout for another injured Marauder. It's a defensive lineman, it looks like. Likely another dropping all over off now. It looks like Jerome Parker, a linebacker, who is cramping and hobbling off the field at the moment. You can see a couple other Myrtle Beach players on a knee right in sheer exhaustion. It is very, very warm today as we continue to work on our video in Bradenton. Just under 9 in this game, 24-0 Myrtle Beach Prep, but IMG as deep as they've been into Marauder territory. We may see Hooper take a chance. And now the team's back out on the field. There's a couple of fresh bodies out there on defense right now for Myrtle Beach Prep. Ascender staying there for receiver set. The tight end Hawkins is on the left side slot. A man in motion. They hand it to Paris up the middle. Will get the first down. Still pushing through some linebackers. Another nice gain for Dorian Paris, who will move the chains. It's an 8-yard run up the middle. And IMG will have a 1st and goal all the way down to the 6-yard line there. And they stop the clock again for what I believe is another injury stoppage. London Tillman for the 3rd time in the game. Knocking on the door. 1st and goal from the 6. 3 receivers, 2 running backs. Hooper looking right, trying to pick his spot, turning towards the end zone, and will not get there, but he did pick up a few.
And Dayon Hooper trying to get into the end zone for the Ascenders' first points with 8:30 remaining in the game. Hooper takes the snap, he keeps it up, runs to the and into the end zone, touchdown. And as the special teams unit will just try to add 1, not replicate the 2.
Well, we thought this might be the case earlier. I mean, the Myrtle Beach Prep defense is out of gas, completely exhausted. I mean, there was almost no effort on that play as Hooper walled the end zone for a touchdown. And if their quarter to play or IMG was down a touchdown less, they would be very much alive at this stage. But they might just run out of time in this one. But they are finally on the board. There will not be a shutout at home today.
And it will, in fact, go for 2. Day Hooper with the empty backfield. In motion is Dorian Paris. Himself just fires one across the middle into the end zone. It's good. The 2-point conversion by Matthews and the Ascenders get a 3rd of that deficit back. They trail 24-8.
What a great job by Hooper to keep his cool there because he was rolling right and it was coming quickly. And most quarterbacks in that spot would just tuck it and take a hit, but because of how exhausted the Myrtle Beach was really covering the receivers on that play, so Hooper kept his head able to launch it over a couple of rushers for the 2-point conversion. And it is just a 2-score game now.
Special teams unit will come back on. We saw an attempted half squib, half onside kick by Cole Kaba.
Well, this is the point where if you're IMG on defense, you're going for jump some routes, maybe sacks, strip sacks, whatever you can do to try and force a turnover. All it's going to take here is 1 turnover, and then obviously a couple of successful 6-point conversions, and IMG's got a chance. So definitely stay tuned. We're continuing. We'll be with you here the rest of the way. We've got 8:05 to go.
And Kaba on the approach still. The Ascenders fall on it. Touchdown! Are you kidding me? And just like that, the Ascenders get two touchdowns on back-to-back plays. What a turn of events, and now they're going to go for 2. So the perfect kick by Cole Kaba stops on the 1-yard line. Myrtle Beach Prep tries to pick it up at the 1, and it is lost and recovered in the end zone. Touchdown, IMG. Wow.
Unbelievable. Basically an onside kick the length of the field. I was about to say I liked the decision to kick for a turnover. I just didn't know they would get a turnover on that play.
Only 6 seconds dragged off the clock. And now you've got a new life for IMG Academy.
They've got to get this, though.
They need this 2-point conversion. They trail by 10. Now Hooper has Julian Taylor and Dorian Parris in the backfield. A couple options, winds one up, and this one deflects around and incomplete, so they'll still need 2 more scores or a touchdown and a field goal, but new life for the Ascenders.
Yeah, that was juggling around in the air for a long time, so it remains a 2-score game. So those tricky little plays that Myrtle Beach Prep had with their weird formation, letting Lewis go one-on-one with the defender, ends up proving huge because they're 3 for 3 on those plays, and now it's the reason that they're up by 2 scores rather than 1. So IMG's closer than they were a moment ago, but they are still 2 scores down. So I would expect them to kick it deep again and then try and get a quick 3-and-out or maybe force a turnover. If they can do that, they are definitely still alive. But if Myrtle Beach Prep can get a couple of first downs and burn some clock, it's about over.
So now the Myrtle Beach Prep special teams unit is going to have to be kept on. Almost everybody up expecting a onside. Now they've got to play their standard distances. And now we'll see what Cole Cobble wants to do. And he will boot it deep again, and it is muffed at the 14-yard line and quickly cut down before getting to the 20. So the Ascender defense and special teams unit now new life and new motivation to try and get back into this game.
Yeah, one side has all the life right now. The other side is cramping. They're not healthy. They're not dealing with the heat well at all. And there's 7:53 to go. So Brown here, who is the freshest guy on the field, because he just came in the second half. But it's not even Brown at quarterback. They're bringing in Landon Lacier, the third-string quarterback, who has a lot of height. We'll see what he can do.
And I thought I saw Spites out there as well. Lacier takes the snap. The hand is right up the middle. Wands a ball in there as well. So 2 quick plays bring the Ascenders right back in it. In a very unlikely turn of events.
Yeah, this is all of a sudden a really interesting ball game. Lacier is going to have to complete a pass at some point to keep this drive alive. They'll probably run it again here, and then on 3rd and long, I think you have to air it out because IMG is going to be up to the task on any running play they have. They just have more energy right now at every position, and it's probably because they have more players to choose from.
So the third quarterback we've seen in this one is a miscommunication, and Lacier's going to have to take a sack. Destroyed in the backfield. He turned the wrong way on that handoff, and you can hear the Ascenders are getting pumped on the sideline.
Yeah, if there was a 5th quarter, IMG would win this game easily right now. It's a landslide at the moment. Myrtle Beach Prep, though, has a 2-possession lead and less than 7 minutes to go, and the clock is running. So you have to feel fairly comfortable still at Myrtle Beach Prep, but they have absolutely zero momentum. It's 3rd and about 12. I don't even think you can attempt a pass if you're Lacier. You might just want to run it, burn some more clock, because a turnover would be a lot more costly.
So Shanny McCormick and wants the ball right now in front. Trying to put the pressure on and a flag coming in.
Lacier was directing traffic for a little bit too long. And there's just, I mean, as much energy as there was on the Myrtle Beach Prep side of the field in the first half, there's not much energy in this field. Completely flipped in the 4th quarter.
You can see the Marauders sideline. They are just defeated, even though they're up by 10. And now pressure coming, looking for the deep ball, and it is caught! And getting away. And up towards midfield. So on 3rd and long, a beautiful pass from Landon Lacier.
Yeah, that was London Stephanie. His first catch of the game. It opened down the sideline, made a great catch. That might be the play that the Marauders needed to hold on to this game, because otherwise IMG would have a short field, a chance to score quickly with plenty of time. Now the clock's ticking down under 6 minutes to go, or it's about to. It's stopped for the chains to move. But a big time throw by Lacier under pressure to find the open receiver.
Now 2 receivers right, 2 to the left for Lacier. Now the snap, the hand, they go right up the middle. And it's back to Feaster. And he'll only get about 2 on the play.
And that's fine if you're Myrtle Beach Prep. You run the ball one more time here, see what you can get. The clock will be under 5 minutes by the time you run your 3rd down play, and then you just hope that Lacier gets another drive.
So 2nd and 8. Lacier looking at the play from the sideline. Again, 2 receivers to each side. Feaster accompanies him in the backfield. Now the snap. They go to Feaster right up the middle, who is stood up for a short loss. And 3rd and long.
And again, that's fine if you're Myrtle Beach Prep, because you're going to snap your 3rd down play with about 4:45 to go. And even if it's incomplete, even if you have to punt, 2 scores in less than 5 minutes for IMG is going to be tough, especially without much of an onside kick in your arsenal. Now, IMG does have all 3 of their timeouts, and that's going to really help them out.
A huge 3rd down try for the Ascender defense. Now the snap. Lacier, pressure coming on the edge, and he is going to be sacked. Huge loss. Big tackle for IMG Academy. And that is John Copley just burning off the edge. And on 4th down, it looks like IMG might take their first time out.
Yeah, good time to use it. Preserve about 30 seconds before the punt is off. You got 4:29 to go. You're going to start this drive somewhere between your own 30 and the 50, which you'll gladly take. It'll be interesting to see if they do march it down inside the 20. Do they just preserve time, kick the field goal, or do they continue to try and use time to get the touchdown? Because you need a field goal. But that's a couple steps ahead of where we're at. That's something you got to be asking yourself if you're staff at the moment. But, I mean, if you're the special teams coach, block here, because that would be the ideal scenario for a team in Myrtle Beach right now that's out of gas. So if you can find a blocker who's just done right now, exhaustion-wise, you can try and blow by him and block this punt. And you said it earlier, Ryan, they don't really have a long snapper. So they've had the quarterback punting out of a regular formation. And Brown, the 2nd quarterback, is back out there to punt.
And he did have a good punt his last time out.
Yeah, so those safeties for IMG better back up, because they're only about 13 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and Brown's got a good leg, and now they are telling him to back up.
And they're telling Taylor Evans to move back just in case this is just a quick snap, and pressure coming off the edge, and
they blocked it.
So the Ascenders will come up with it on the short field, and Copley again is pumped up.
He got the block, and there were 2 other players right there to help him out. Great penetration by the IMG defensive line, and the fact that they don't have a long snapper really cost them there, because Brown is 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage, where a normal punter would be more like 10 to 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So an easy block for IMG, and now they have a short field. They're almost already in field goal range, but now at this stage, with this great field position, you probably go for the touchdown here with 4:21 to play. This is a ball game, Ryan. So IMG sets up shop at the 31-yard line. Hooper remains at quarterback. 2 running backs, 3 receivers, 2 to the left. Gets a low snap, hands it off to Terrell. Breaks it right towards the edge of the sideline, spins through a couple defenders, and picks up 4 yards. The clock, however, is running at 4:10. So they're trying to get him back to the line. Decent run by Terrell, but it's burning a lot of time off the clock. 2nd and 7 from the 27 of Myrtle Beach Prep, and they are not really hurrying as much as they should. Now they're gun, 3 receivers, 2 running backs. Myrtle Beach Prep shows blitz. It comes. They pick it up. Hooper swing. Catch is made, and it's fumbled. Is it incomplete or is it a fumble? They're ruling it a fumble, so the clock will continue to run. That was Taylor Evans on the catch, and so now it's 3rd and long with 3:30 and ticking on the clock. It's a loss of 1 on the play. So 3rd and 8 from the Marauders 28. Evans splits out wide to the right. Weston Adams is the receiver to the left. Terrell goes in motion. Hooper back to pass. Looking left. There's nothing there. It's absolutely blown up. And that might pretty much end the chances unless they can get a big play on 4th down. As they dumped it into the backfield to Stacy Gage, and it's a loss of 3. And so it's going to be 4th and 12 for IMG at the 33-yard line.
And Xavier will come off the field. Day Hooper has Stacy Gage on his right hip.
They're burning so much time, though, Ryan. Down to 2.5 minutes left.
Now Hooper awaits the snap. Hooper's going to keep it himself. Runs forward, trying to get it as Taylor Evans, and just outside of the reach of his outstretched arm. And that'll be a turnover on downs and probably seal the game for the Marauders.
Well, a great effort by IMG to fight back in this one. They showed a lot of resiliency here in the second half, particularly in this 4th quarter. I love the energy I saw from the defense, guys like Copley and plenty of others who rose to the challenge in this 4th quarter and made this really interesting. But I just thought on that possession they burned way too much clock. You had a running play on 1st down. I don't know if that was the right decision. Of course, if Terrell springs a long run, you love it. But on all 3 of those plays, they got tackled in bounds and didn't gain much yardage and burned 2 minutes off the clock before that 4th down play, which ended up being 4th and long. So it doesn't work out there on that drive, but overall, you have to love the effort late from the Ascenders.
24-14, 2:18 remaining. And the keep is to the original starting quarterback as Corey Spites is brought down.
Like he's going to finish the game, but we saw the other 2 quarterbacks in the meantime.
And the Ascenders are going to take a timeout.
You don't really see the quarterback position go by committee in a winning effort very often. Usually the team that's using multiple quarterbacks is the team that's losing. But it's been interesting to see how they've used these quarterbacks. We saw Brown make a couple really good plays in his 3rd quarter of work. And then in the 4th quarter, Lacey Air, the only completion he had today was about a 25-yard bomb down the sideline, which got the momentum back in their favor and really helped them pull this one off in the end. So it's going to take a turnover. If IMG is going to miraculously come back, they need a turnover and they need it quick, because otherwise 2 scores in 2 minutes is awfully tough.
Ascenders with just 1 more timeout remaining as well. So for Myrtle Beach Prep, they're going to want to keep the ball on the ground, and the Ascenders know that. But if they try to go to the air to get these big yards back, that will stop the clock and work in the Ascenders' favor. Now the snap to Spites, the pitch out to his left, and Feaster has some room. He didn't get enough for the 1st down, but he's going to be close, and actually fighting for those last few yards will bring up 3rd and short.
An extra 3 yards there on sheer effort, and he's only 1 yard short.
And that will It'll be the Ascenders' final timeout.
Well, you don't see many teams come to Bradenton and beat IMG on their home field, so a tip of the cap to Myrtle Beach Prep. It's not over yet, but they came out with so much energy today, so much confidence. They were not scared one bit coming into this house to face this level of competition, and really rose to the occasion, showed what they were made of offensively, a lot on both sides of the ball, and it really shined today.
So it'll be 3rd and 2, another chance for the Ascender defense to shut this drive down. We've seen Spites can do it both with his arm and with his legs. We'll see what they've got on 3rd. And this one right across the middle end, just through the hands of Monty Lewis. Great coverage. I believe that was Willem Chinicki. But he is down. Looks like when he came down on the player, he may have got the wind knocked out.
Yeah, he's getting up now, so that's a really good sign. But you might be right. He might have gotten the wind knocked out of him there over the middle on that play. But you got to wonder, too, Ryan, what kind of factor the pandemic had on all of this cramping and these players going down late. You didn't get a chance to do your summer conditioning like you normally would. In practice, you're spread out amongst your position groups. You're not head-to-head as often. You're not running as a team as often. So that might have played a factor today, and we've seen a lot of players cramp up and a lot of guys just exhausted by this hot Florida sun here on a Saturday afternoon. They're playing right in the hottest part of the day. So I would be willing to guess that if they had a normal offseason, they probably would not be struggling quite this much, but they are in good hands here. The trainers and the assistants are there to help, and they'll be recovering with the best of assistance the next couple of days.
On 4th down, it looks like they might go for it again. 1:52 remaining after the clock stoppage from the incomplete pass. Now the snap is low. Spites with the option pitch to the left, and that's going to be a 1st down for Feaster, who's just going to go down inbounds. The smart football move to keep the clock running, and that should just about do it.
Yep, now just two or three knees, and we'll all be headed home. It's going to be a lot more enjoyable, a bus trip to Myrtle Beach after a win. They're going to enjoy, as much as you can enjoy 9 hours on a bus, they're going to enjoy it after getting a win here.
So 1st and 10, 90 seconds remaining. And it doesn't look like they'll take a victory formation, but they will definitely.
They may not have a victory formation. They don't have a punt formation, so Spites is probably just going to take a knee and hand it off, and now we get a delay game penalty as they try and figure out what they want to do with 1:09 to go. I guess they haven't thought this far ahead. They didn't know they were going to come in and win this game.
And now having some discussion with the officials about the play clock.